Yeah, the silence is deafening. It's like a word. Welcome to We Are Just Girls.
My name's Pride.
And I'm Creighton.
Let's yap!
Alright, today we're yapping about our icks and pet peeves.
Yep.
It's like, an ick is, I feel like, a little bit more tolerable
than a pet peeve.
Because a pet peeve is like, if you do this, we're not friends.
Yes. Okay. I have a pet peeve. I know you have a pet peeve.
What's your number one?
Number one? I don't have a number one.
Oh.
I feel like they all just make me, like, mad.
I have, like, a number one.
Okay, what's your number one?
Slow walkers.
Okay, yeah, that's...
Especially at school.
Especially now that we're down to 5 minutes. Like,
right.
I have places to be.
We're talking about school.
We're talking about school.
Yeah.
We used to have 6 minutes to walk.
Get in between, like...
And now
classes.
We have 5.
Yeah. Which I don't mind because I'm a fast walker.
I get there in 5 anyway.
Yes, but when you have groups of 4 walking in these halls and they're all on their phones and they're just...
in one line, just like a group of 4.
Like, their mile time is, like, 47,628
Like, today
minutes.
we were literally walking, and we walked, like, not even, like, 20 feet, and it took us a minute. Yeah. Insane.
And it's like, I feel like I'm stepping on your heels, but it's like, where
like,
are you
can
going?
we walk with a purpose?
Like,
personally,
yes.
I just don't understand not walking with a purpose. Like,
walk like you're going somewhere because you are.
Correct. Like, I'm only getting up and walking to walk to a different place.
Correct.
So, like, I'm trying to get there fast so I can sit my butt back
genuinely
down.
annoys me, though. And I think I've posted it on my close friends, like, 4 times this week of how mad I've been.
Yeah. Also, I would like to start this off by saying that Creighton has a list of, like, 100 icks and pet peeves.
I could list... Oh, shout out to Olivia Thornton for giving me the idea to make the list. It's called... I'm pretty sure it's called Things I Strongly Would Dislike. You guys can stop this video and go look at that. I feel like I'm not a picky eater. I do not think I'm a picky eater. I just have very, like, I know what I don't like, if that makes sense. So, like, the top 3 things that I will not eat is mushrooms, bacon, and tomatoes.
Okay. Mushrooms, I understand. They're, like, the consistency is
disgusting. Like, you're literally eating fungus from the ground.
But some people, have really good nutritional value.
Eat chicken.
Well, some people are vegetarian, but personally, I just can't get behind
granola.
It. Like, if you're putting a mushroom in your eggs in the morning, like your scrambled eggs, you know, people put, like, mushrooms in omelets.
Tomatoes. My grandpa used to eat tomatoes like an apple. Like just double fisting.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I just like my little cherry tomatoes.
Nope. I will only eat tomatoes in ketchup or, like, pasta sauce.
Okay, so I strongly dislike ketchup. I love tomatoes, and I cannot handle ketchup.
Like, on, like French fries?
Yeah, can't handle it. Ew. I go for some Chick-fil-A sauce.
Right.
If
I'm at Chick-fil-A, but, like, if I'm at, like, Brahms, ketchup.
I would just, like, rather... Like, it's just, like, in my opinion, disgustingly sweet. Like, it's, like...
What?
Ketchup.
Oh,
like, it's supposed to be, like, a tomato,
right.
But then you take a bite, and it's, like, sugar.
Isn't that literally what those tiny tomatoes are, though? Like, sweet tomatoes?
No, they just taste like normal tomatoes.
They're...
Corinne, you've been getting songs stuck in my head all day.
Good.
Alrighty.
Big one. People who are disrespectful, especially to, like, people you're supposed to have respect for.
So I wrote this when I wrote this one on our little note when I was especially mad at somebody for being disrespectful. And I was just like...
I've had lots of instances where I'm just like, who do you think you are where you can just, like, be an awful human?
Not even that. It's just, like, thank you is 2 words.
Well, it's, like, thank you or just, like, simple, like, Mrs. and Misters or, you know, just, like, maybe, like, not talking back to a teacher or an adult or just cleaning up after yourself at a restaurant. Like, just, you know, basic human things that you should know how to do if you're living, breathing.
Human.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you don't do them, it's just, like, kind of frustrating. For me personally,
really frustrating.
Like, everybody slips up. You know, everybody doesn't have their moments sometimes. But, like,
right.
When you see them do it repeated times, it's, like, a little, like...
Especially... Yeah.
Ugh.
So, as much as I love the ocean, I hate sand.
I agree.
Hate sand.
It's like the feeling of getting out of the ocean and sand still being on
you. You know how people say, like, glitter never goes away? Neither does sand. You will find sand everywhere. As long as you're on vacation.
Yeah. Or like playing sand volleyball.
Oh my gosh.
I love playing sand volleyball, but when I get off the sand volleyball court and there's still sand on me, that's when we start having problems.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
That's when we start having problems.
I just don't. I hate it. And like people have been saying like you can get it off with baby powder or like just a towel. No, you can't.
You actually can get like probably
most
not wet
of it,
sand, but like
most
dry sand.
But like the thing that makes me the most mad is like you're in the ocean. You have to get out of the ocean to go home. Yes. Which means your feet are wet and you're walking on the sand, which means there's sand everywhere.
And so you walk out of the wet sand to go put your shoes on. Yeah. To then go back to the ocean to rinse the sand off your feet to then walk up the sand. And then by the time you get to your car,
your feet are sandy.
Your feet are sandy, but
your shoes.
And your shoes are sandy, and your clothes are sandy,
and your car is sandy, your
sunglasses are sandy. Everything around you is sandy. But how are you gonna get the sand off?
It's just terrible, and it's just.
And then when I like go to wash my hair and I find sand in like my scalp and sand like behind my ear.
Yeah, I would just rip my hair out.
Ugh. That's a sand volleyball thing though, like sand in your hair.
Yes. Well, I feel like in the ocean it can be too.
I just try not to get my hair wet in the ocean because like the salt kills my hair.
I understand that, but I will sacrifice because I love swimming. Alrighty. Speaking of things that I just don't like the texture of, socks. I have a really big thing with socks. So like I only wear these socks. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna show you my toes, but I only wear these socks, and I only wear our Adidas
for volleyball
ankle socks, or not ankle.
These ones.
Okay. Well, she's wearing Nike.
I'm wearing Nike dry fit socks, like the basic ones.
I hate those. I will not wear those.
They are kind of itchy.
They're just rough, and it's just like.
But they're thick, and my feet get cold, and so I love
just put a blanket on.
Okay.
And like the Adidas ones are so soft.
I don't like those ones.
So soft. And so anyway, so I only wear 2 types of socks, and I only wear 2 because I have to. If I didn't have to wear the volleyball ones, I would just wear these. But I do like.
My problem with socks is the like line right here. You see that? Mm-hmm. And the reason I don't like the Adidas ones is because the line is right here. And so like.
Are you getting the right size?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just fit my feet weird, I guess. But the line is like right here, and so like digs into like my.
Well, you know. Ugh.
And so it's just like uncomfortable to walk in. Or when the line is like under your foot. Some socks have the line under your foot.
This is giving. I'm like messing with my hair tag because this is giving tooth.
But like sometimes the line is under your foot, and it's just like ugh. That is like I'll wear any sock until the line is in the wrong place. If you know what I mean by the line.
I won't.
I strongly disagree.
I also like, you know,
you're so uncomfortable right now.
I'm trying to get through this, but like you know when you're putting on socks and then like that like the thread like catches on. Yeah.
I know exactly.
That's like the worst pain, and then you're like contemplating like, can I make it through the day doing this, or do I need to take my sock off and try again?
Or when there's like the tiniest like a hole.
Or do you just like try to rip it?
A hole forms in your sock halfway through the day. Has it ever happened to you? Okay, well.
Not that I've known, I guess.
Like sometimes there'll be like a tiny hole in my sock, and I don't realize when I put it on. And then throughout the day, like it gets bigger because I'm like walking on it. And so then like it just like is uncomfortable. That is one of my pet peeves about socks. But you've never had that happen to you, so you can't like relate to that experience.
But I understand why it would be frustrating and gross.
It's just like not fun.
Another texture that I hate are towels.
So what do you use?
That's a really good question, and my parents would love to answer that, I'm sure. But let me explain. So basically, I hate them. So like we
okay.
Like there's like 3 towels in my household that I will willingly like use. Like, they just like they're so disgusting to me, and like the texture of them is like yeah. And so a while my parents got mad because I would always get water on the floor because I wouldn't use a towel.
Oh my gosh. Great.
So I do use a towel. I still get water on the floor though, but
I don't have any problems with towels.
I do.
But
I also, do you see this? I really hope it's focused. If you don't, it's one of those hair ties with the little bubbles and the bead. And now I only use these because the other ones feel too skinny and small and tiny.
I don't like those ones because this would have my hair caught in it after I check it out.
And are you just yanking your hair out?
No.
You use those like, they're like fabric almost.
Yes, yeah. Those ones I like, or like the plastic ones that are like spirally. I like those ones. Those ones.
See, those ones get stuck in my hair sometimes, or they get like super loose because my hair is thick, but I like my hair to be tight if it's up.
When they get loose, I run it under hot water and it makes it shrink again. If you didn't know, run your little like plastic swirly hair ties under hot water and they'll shrink. Okay. But I like that though. Those ones don't put my hair out.
Yeah. Every year, for a really long time, my grandma used to take us to Silver Dollar City. Like multiple times a year, we had like season passes, and she's kind of like, it's kind of gone like, we don't go as much anymore, but I still have a season pass. My brother still has a season pass, and we still go like yearly. And it's a really fun thing, but I used to get car sick a lot, and so I didn't love going. Like I loved being at Silver Dollar City, but I didn't love the trip to Silver Dollar City.
Right.
And when we lived in Oklahoma, it was a lot farther of a drive than now. And so I would like dread going. But now I love going, so take me. And anyway, but the other thing that I would hate is like the lines. Because especially like Time Traveler just came out a couple years ago, and when we first went to like ride on it, it's like a 7-hour wait, and it goes like stairs and then stairs and then stairs. It's like insane.
I just don't understand, like, my whole point of being there is to go on the rides. Right. I don't want to spend my day standing in the line.
Correct.
And so I understand you can get like your passes or whatever that like cost more money, but
you just think you would figure out a more efficient way to like do entertainment.
Because more people would be there.
Right.
If it didn't take all day and you spend half your day standing in lines, a lot more people would be coming to your parks.
And it's like, they're hot. There's no air conditioning because most of them are outside.
Humid hot.
It's boring. It's honestly like exhausting, and you're standing for so long.
I love entertainment parks though, but I don't go as much as you do. So like when I go, they're like more like, oh, like I don't think I've been to one in like 5 years. Bro.
We're going to Silver Dollar City.
Let's do it.
And then we went to Six Flags last spring break, me and my family, and it was so much fun. And there was this ride, and it was like, it was pretty new, but it was like Aquaman. Keep in mind, it's like low key like 50 degrees outside because it's like nighttime too.
Okay.
And I was like, Dad, like I've wanted to ride this all day. Like, will you please ride it with me?
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, fine, like, do you get wet? And I was like, no, I don't think so. I think it's just in water because it's Aquaman. And I wasn't trying to be, like, a devious child. Like, I literally did not know that you got wet. Yeah. So we get on this thing, and it spins you. And so we're in this, like, a circle, and it shifts us out, and it's just, like, this long, like, almost like a skateboard ramp.
Okay.
And so we get on it, and it's, like, going like this, and then it just shoots us this way, and then we spin at the top, and then we come crashing down, and just water. Have you ever rode the ride in Silver Dollar City that is like, you're in like a circle tube and it's like Mystic River, I think?
Probably, but I probably don't remember it.
Okay.
I know the last time I went to Silver Dollar City, it was like colder, and so I didn't want to get wet.
Okay, that makes sense. Or even, have you ridden the log ride? That one is like you're like at the top and then you just go down. Okay, so it was basically like that.
Okay.
So like water went like in like this. It was so much fun. We wrote so then he was like kind of mad, but like he was obviously having fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're riding that again. And he was like, yeah, we are.
I went into the Disney Channel building and I sat down with the president of Disney Channel and I said, I want to make history. And that's what this is.
Because it was like a really good ride, you know? Like it wasn't just like, it wasn't like the log ride. Like
right.
It was like a roller coaster, but also like, fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
I get
Go
that.
ride it. It was really fun. We rode it like 8 times, like legit.
Okay.
And then we were freezing and wet.
Oh.
I was like, you're going to regret that.
One time we were in Universal Studios. Have you been?
No.
Universal? Really?
I've been to both Disney Worlds, but not Universal.
That's
but my
surprising.
parents, I know, because I was a big Harry Potter freak for a while.
Well, that's why we went.
See, I wasn't a freak, but I did read them like all in a week.
I wasn't a freak, but I was a little obsessed.
Love, I'm obsessed, and I don't even feel guilty about it.
I was obsessed, and then like I do this all the time, but like I'll like watch a movie and be obsessed with it for like 3 days and like research everything, watch all the interviews, like watch it 7 times,
Yes.
and
watch
then
all
I have
the TikToks, all the Instagram reels. Yeah.
Well, I was
little,
but yeah, and then you have to like move on so fast
Yes.
so that you forget. So like when I read Harry Potter in a week, watched all the movies, and then immediately started reading like something else. All right, so my last like pet peeve ick is when people send K. Like, is it that hard to just send an O before it? Because it makes you seem like you, like, want to strangle me by the throat.
If I've ever texted you K, it's because I am purposefully doing it. Like, I'm purposefully only choosing the type 1 letter.
Which is petty. Because, like, even when I'm saying, like, okay, like, okay.
Yeah.
I feel mean. So then I add an AY.
Okay, yeah, I do that too, where I say okie dokie. Like, I know that's cringy, but, like, it makes me seem happier because, like, okay is just like so like blunt and like I almost feel like rude.
Yeah.
And so I always do okay AY or okay and then exclamation points.
Right.
Or like okie dokie. But I only do okie dokie with like
3 people.
Yeah. 2 or 3 people because like other people would think I'm weird. But I guess now the internet knows.
Right. It's the digital footprint.
I
will say, like, my texting personality and my email personality are completely different because I'll be using, like, periods and, like, I'm very, like, formal in, like, email.
When I sit down to write an email, I feel like an it girl.
I was talking to my sister about this because I was like, when I sit down to write an email, like, I'm the president of the United States.
100%.
Like, I'm not Korean. I'm,
like,
Madam President Korean.
It's like when we're walking fast. It's like I'm on a mission.
Right.
Like this email needs to get sent. Whatever I'm talking about needs to get finished. And
but I also am like so hyper aware that like everyone and their dog could like find this email someday.
I'm always
which
so
makes
kind on
zero sense. But like that's like my mind.
Okay.
Even though like you can also do that with text, but whatever.
Yeah. I just like because whenever I write an email, I write it to somebody that's like upper or like more in power, I guess. And so I always write very formally. Right. Like formally but kindly.
But like I don't feel bad about putting periods on emails, if that makes sense. But,
no,
like, if
I'm
supposed to. I guess that makes sense. But if I'm sending like a text to you and I'm like almost at your house, period, like you're gonna be like,
okay.
But if you're sending K, what are you doing?
My mom sends me like an O and then a K and then just an exclamation point, and like I used to just be like, Mom, like are you mad? Like I was like, are you like mad at me? I told her that once and she goes, no, like that was excitement. And I said, Mom, like that did not come off as it was a capital O and then a K and then an exclamation point.
Right.
Like, just a singular exclamation point.
I don't think that's aggressive.
Well, I think it was the context of the conversation.
Gotcha.
And so it was like, okay.
Like she was just like ending the conversation.
Yes. And so I was just like do you want it to end?
I think like parents are either just not tech savvy and so they don't understand this, or they're just so busy like with work and stuff that they just send like a K or like a thumbs up.
That's
and
what
they
my mom
don't
does.
understand how it's perceived.
So like she will like read like the whole thing, but then she'll forget to respond to my question that's like buried in the middle, and so then she just thumbs it up, and I'm like, hey, like there's a question
like,
in there.
There was more to that, but like I'll send like this whole thing about like either like how upset I am or like how I did something good, and my mom will just be like. And I'm
like
just
it's not your fault. You're busy. Like I completely understand. But like,
well, like if you're not gonna give me some pizzazz, just wait, because I will wait to talk to you in person.
I wait so I can give you all the pizzazz. Right. Like sometimes I won't respond to my mom until I come home, unless it's like obviously urgent. But because like I need to add the pizzazz to show like my hype,
the charisma.
And I open a bag of chips, and I'm ready to munch. I'm ready to munch when I open a bag of chips, and I open it and I take a bite, and it's like.
It's just like, or like you know those Lay's potato chips, the most basic chip in the world.
You know the yellow bag of potato chips,
right? The one that like is in every commercial. You know those. So basically, when you open those and they're like they feel plasticky or oily, or you go to a Mexican restaurant and you're about to chow down on some.
And the nachos are like
disgusting.
They're not even like crunchy. They're just like bendy.
Yes, that's literally what I'm talking about when I'm saying like oily, plasticky little.
It's like the most disappointing feeling ever, because whenever I go for a bag of chips, or if I'm ready to like, I'm going to a Mexican restaurant, part of my experience is like eating my chips and queso.
Half of my dinner is chips and queso.
Eating my chips and
salsa.
salsa.
I go to eat Mexican.
And so when I take a bite of my first chip and it bends,
disgust.
In both scenarios, I'm just immediately like so disappointed.
Immediately disappointed, immediately regretting every decision I've ever made in my entire life that led up to this point, and immediately wanting to leave.
I'm just regretting the fact that I even like opened the bag of chips because I was happier before I opened it because now I want the chips. And I'm not
and now you like there's nothing that's gonna fill that void or besides God.
Yep. But like I still want my chips.
Right. If you walk slow, fix that. Go to a track, learn how to pace yourself, get off your phone, eyes up, walk.
If you're mad disrespectful, stop.
Fix
please.
that. Just like go to your parents and just be like, you know what, thank you, and hug them. And that will probably solve a lot of your problems. And if you send K's, take the 0.5 seconds that I know that your fingers can withstand and put an O in front of it.
Unless you're purposely being petty.
Don't be petty. Just be a respectful person even in times of trouble. Like, don't be a rude little two-faced little rat in front of a screen.
No.
Just don't be two-faced, actually. If you're gonna be mean, don't be mean. Don't be mean.
I don't know where this is going because we've ended the podcast like 3 times.
Yeah, the silence is deafening. So we're gonna end it so that I stop yapping. Those are some of our Icks and pet peeves.
Hope you enjoyed that.